Today, I want to take you on a journey that transcends the ordinary and touches the divine. We often look up to figures who inspire us, whether they are great leaders, teachers, or visionaries. But what if I told you that within each one of us lies the potential to embody something much greater, a blend of the human and the divine? I stand before you today to speak about the God-man, a concept that might seem paradoxical at first, a being who walks the earth like you and me, yet is capable of embodying the highest virtues and the greatest purpose. But let's not just look at it as a distant ideal or a mere theological concept. Let's explore it as a vision for our own lives, where the divine potential within us meets our human experience. What if the way we think, act, and live could reflect the qualities of both the divine and the human? What if we could tap into that inner power to overcome challenges, inspire others, and truly live a life of meaning and service? Recognizing the greatness within you is one of the most profound and transformative realizations a person can have. It is an awakening, a moment of clarity, when you truly understand that you are more than the limitations you might have believed yourself to be bound by. So many people live their lives under the shadow of doubt, constantly questioning their worth or potential. Society and the experiences we go through often shape these perceptions, leading us to feel small, insignificant, or incapable of achieving something extraordinary. But deep within each one of us lies a spark, a greatness waiting to be recognized and cultivated. The journey to recognizing your greatness starts with self-awareness. It is the conscious understanding that you are not just a passive participant in the world, you are an active creator of your own reality. The first step is to stop looking for validation from external sources and start turning inward. Look at the strengths you possess, the abilities that come naturally to you, and the passions that ignite something inside you. It's easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others, but greatness is not a competition. It's about aligning yourself with your true purpose and recognizing that your unique combination of talents, experiences, and perspectives has inherent value. Often this process of self-recognition can be obscured by fear and doubt. We may believe that in order to be great, we must first become perfect, or that greatness is only reserved for those who are already highly successful. This is a fallacy. Perfection does not precede greatness. Rather, it is the willingness to embrace imperfection, to acknowledge our flaws, and yet still move forward with courage. Greatness doesn't reside in the absence of failure or challenge. It exists in the pursuit of something greater than ourselves. It lives in our capacity to rise after each fall, to learn from each setback, and to continue on the path with renewed determination. To recognize your greatness, it is essential to let go of the limiting beliefs that keep you confined. These beliefs often arise from past experiences or societal conditioning, but they don't define who you are. The truth is that greatness is not about fitting into predefined molds. It is about expanding your sense of possibility and daring to believe that you can create the life you desire, no matter how far away it might seem. It's about shedding the weight of negativity and embracing the power of positive self-belief. You are capable of far more than you think, but it all starts with changing the way you view yourself. One of the most important aspects of recognizing your greatness is understanding that it is not dependent on the approval of others. Too often, people look for external validation in order to feel good about themselves. But the power of your greatness comes from within. When you stop seeking permission to be who you are, you free yourself to fully step into your potential. Self-education is an act of liberation. It means you recognize your worth regardless of how others perceive you. This internal foundation of confidence and self-respect will propel you to take bolder actions, make bolder choices, and pursue your goals with an unshakable belief that you are worthy of success. Once you've recognized your own greatness, the next step is to manifest it in everyday life. This is where many people fall short. It's easy to acknowledge your potential in moments of inspiration, but the real work begins when you take that recognition and turn it into tangible action. Greatness isn't something that's reserved for special occasions or moments of triumph. It is something that you must actively practice every single day. This means setting clear intentions, making purposeful choices, and consistently taking action toward your goals. Manifesting greatness in everyday life begins with discipline and commitment. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of life, the demands of work, the pressures of relationships, or the constant stream of information we receive. But the key to unlocking your greatness lies in your ability to focus. Focus on what truly matters to you and give your full energy to those things. Prioritize your time and energy and ensure that the things you spend the most time on align with your values and aspirations. It's about making intentional decisions every day that support the life you want to create, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. Manifestation is also about being present and fully engaged in the moment. It's not enough to merely have dreams or aspirations. You must actively work toward them. This means taking inspired action on a consistent basis. The world will not bend to your will simply because you recognize your potential. You must show up day in and day out with the belief that each action you take is a step towards something greater. It's the little, everyday choices that compound over time to create extraordinary results. Greatness is not built in a day, but in the daily commitment to excellence, no matter how small the task may seem. As you strive to manifest your greatness, it's important to cultivate a mindset of resilience. Life will inevitably present challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but the ability to stay committed to your vision in the face of adversity is what separates those who realize their potential from those who give up too soon. Embrace obstacles as opportunities for growth, not as barriers to your success. Each challenge is a chance to build the strength and wisdom necessary for your journey. Remember that greatness isn't about avoiding failure. It's about learning to rise stronger with each setback. It is also crucial to understand that manifesting your greatness is not a solo journey. While the recognition of your potential and the decision to act on it come from within, the process of bringing that greatness into the world often requires collaboration, support, and connection with others. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Seek out mentors, peers, and communities that encourage you to push beyond your limits. Greatness is often amplified when shared, and the more you align with people who are also committed to their own growth, the more your own potential will flourish. In addition, it's important to remember that greatness is not defined by external markers of success, such as wealth, fame, or recognition. These things are fleeting, and they do not measure the true value of a person's impact. The greatness I speak of is about living a life of integrity, purpose, and service. It is about striving to be the best version of yourself in every area of your life, whether that's in your personal relationships, your work, or your contributions to the world. True greatness is not about seeking personal glory, but about making a positive difference in the lives of others. It's about lifting others up and creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you can see. Ultimately, recognizing and manifesting your greatness is a lifelong journey. It is not a destination, but a process of continuous evolution. With every step, you uncover more of your potential, expand your vision, and grow into the person you were always meant to be. The key is to never stop believing in yourself, even when the road gets tough. Trust that the greatness within you is real, and that it will guide you through every challenge, every setback, and every triumph. When you truly recognize your greatness and commit to manifesting it in your everyday life, you begin to create a reality that reflects the full scope of your potential, one that inspires not only your own growth, but the growth of others as well. Living with compassion, humility, and purpose, while aligning with higher values, is one of the most profound and transformative ways to lead a meaningful life. In a world often filled with distractions, challenges, and external pressures, it can be easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Yet when we ground ourselves in these virtues, we begin to build a life that is rich with meaning, connection, and impact. Compassion, humility, and purpose are not just abstract ideals, but practical principles that, when applied daily, can elevate our lives and the lives of those around us. Compassion is often thought of as an emotional response to the suffering of others, but it is much more than that. True compassion involves a deep empathy for the experiences of others, coupled with the desire to alleviate their suffering. It is not just about feeling sorry for someone or offering words of comfort in times of need. It is about acting in ways that genuinely serve the well-being of others. Compassion requires us to step outside of ourselves and truly understand the challenges, pain, and struggles that others face. When we practice compassion, we acknowledge the inherent worth of every human being, recognizing that everyone, regardless of their background or circumstances, deserves kindness, understanding, and care. Living with compassion also involves offering forgiveness, both to others and to ourselves. Often we hold on to grudges, anger, or resentment, believing that it is justified. Yet carrying this weight only hurts us in the long run. Compassion requires us to let go of these negative emotions, to release ourselves from the burden of past wrongs, and to recognize that everyone is doing the best they can with what they have. It invites us to be patient with others and with ourselves, understanding that growth and healing are processes that take time. Compassion enables us to build stronger, more meaningful relationships because it fosters trust, respect, and a sense of shared humanity. Humility is equally essential in living a life of compassion, purpose, and alignment with higher values. Humility is often misunderstood as weakness or self-deprecation, but in reality it is a powerful strength. Humility is the recognition that we are not above others and that we do not have all the answers. It is the willingness to learn, grow, and admit when we are wrong. A humble person does not need to constantly prove their worth or seek validation from external sources. Instead, they operate from a place of self-assuredness, knowing that their value does not depend on accolade, status, or comparison to others. Humility allows us to approach the world with openness and curiosity, acknowledging that everyone has something valuable to teach us. When we live with humility, we also begin to recognize the inherent interconnectedness of all life. No one exists in isolation, and no one achieves success alone. Humility teaches us to value the contributions of others and to recognize that our achievements are often the result of the collective efforts of many. By living with humility, we develop a sense of gratitude and appreciation for those who have supported and nurtured us. Humility also allows us to be more compassionate because it removes the barriers of pride and arrogance that can create distance between ourselves and others. It encourages us to see the humanity in everyone, regardless of their background, status, or differences. Purpose is the guiding force that drives us forward and gives our lives meaning. Without purpose, life can feel aimless, disjointed, and lacking in fulfillment. Purpose is the compass that helps us navigate through life's challenges and uncertainties, giving us direction even when the path is unclear. A person with purpose lives with intention, making decisions based on what truly matters to them. Purpose is deeply personal and unique to each individual, shaped by our values, passions, and experiences. For some, purpose may be centered around family, community, or service to others. For others, it may be rooted in creative expression, innovation, or the pursuit of knowledge. Regardless of its form, purpose serves as the foundation for a life that is lived with intention and meaning. Living with purpose requires us to be intentional about how we spend our time and energy. It involves aligning our actions with our deepest values and beliefs, rather than simply reacting to external circumstances or societal expectations. Purpose gives us the strength to persevere through difficult times, knowing that our struggles are part of a greater journey. When we have a clear sense of purpose, we are more likely to make decisions that reflect our true selves, rather than conforming to the pressures and influences of the world around us. Purpose also provides a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction because it allows us to contribute to something larger than ourselves, whether that is through our work, our relationships, or our service to others. Aligning with higher values is a key component of living with compassion, humility, and purpose. Higher values refer to the principles that guide our actions and decisions, such as integrity, honesty, kindness, respect, and justice. These values serve as the moral compass that directs us in our daily lives, ensuring that we are acting in ways that are consistent with our true selves and our deepest beliefs. When we align with higher values, we make choices that are not only good for ourselves, but also good for others and the world around us. Higher values encourage us to think beyond our own immediate needs and desires and to consider the long-term impact of our action. Living in alignment with higher values requires courage and conviction, especially in a world that often prioritizes material success, power, and self-interest. It can be tempting to compromise our values in order to achieve external success or to fit in with the expectations of others. However, when we make decisions that are out of alignment with our values, we often experience inner conflict and dissatisfaction. Aligning with higher values, on the other hand, brings a deep sense of peace and fulfillment because we know that we are living in accordance with what truly matters. It allows us to feel proud of the choices we make and the person we are becoming, to live with compassion, humility, and purpose, while aligning with higher values requires a daily commitment to self-awareness and growth. It is a lifelong journey that involves continual reflection, learning, and striving to become the best version of ourselves. It means being willing to confront our own flaws, biases, and shortcomings, while also recognizing our inherent worth and potential. It is about choosing to live with integrity, even when it is difficult, and to act with kindness and compassion, even when it is not easy. It is about being open to learning from others and being humble enough to admit that we do not have all the answers. At the same time, living with these values does not mean we will never make mistakes or face challenges. In fact, it is through these struggles that we grow and deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world. Compassion, humility, and purpose are not just ideals to strive for in moments of clarity. They are the principles that guide us through the messy, imperfect reality of life. By committing to live with these values, we open ourselves to deeper connection, greater fulfillment, and the possibility of making a lasting impact in the world around us. It is through this alignment with higher values that we create lives that are not only meaningful to ourselves, but also contribute to the greater good of humanity. Leadership is often thought of as a position or a title, something that is granted based on rank, authority, or achievement. But true leadership is not about titles or external recognition. It's about the impact you have on others through your actions and the example you set. The most powerful form of leadership is the one that uplifts others, inspires them, and helps them recognize and realize their own potential. It's a form of leadership that's based on service, integrity, and compassion, rather than control or power. To lead by example means to embody the qualities you want to inspire in others. It is the daily demonstration of the values, behaviors, and principles that you wish to see in the world. Whether it's your dedication to excellence, your commitment to honesty, or your ability to show empathy, leading by example isn't about what you say, it's about what you do. Your actions speak louder than words, and they are often the most powerful tool you have to influence and motivate others. When you lead by example, you become a living testament to what is possible. You show others that it is not only achievable to live a life of purpose, integrity, and greatness, but that it is also the most fulfilling way to live. People are constantly observing how we behave, especially those who look up to us. Our actions serve as a model, often subconsciously guiding the way others think, feel, and act. Therefore, if we want to inspire others to reach their full potential, we must first become the best version of ourselves. One of the most powerful ways to lead by example is by demonstrating resilience in the face of challenges. Life will inevitably bring difficulties, setbacks, and obstacles. But how we respond to these challenges can either limit our growth or open doors for others to grow. When we show resilience, we demonstrate to others that setbacks are not permanent. They are simply part of the process of success. Instead of letting failure define us, we use it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and rise stronger. By doing so, we send a message to those around us. You are not defined by your mistakes or your failures. What matters is your ability to keep going, to persevere, and to believe in yourself even when the road is tough. Resilience is contagious. When others see you facing adversity with strength and determination, it gives them the courage to face their own challenges with similar resolve. They begin to believe that they too can overcome the difficulties in their lives. As a leader, your ability to stay grounded and focused during hard times not only inspires those around you, but also empowers them to take ownership of their own resilience. Another critical aspect of leading by example is practicing self-discipline. Discipline is the ability to control one's behavior, emotions, and actions in order to achieve a desired goal. It is the foundation of any successful endeavor, whether personal or professional. When you lead by example through self-discipline, you show others that success is not achieved through shortcuts or instant gratification, but through consistent effort, focus, and dedication. You demonstrate that it's not about being perfect, but about making steady progress toward your goals each day. People often look for instant results, and when they don't see immediate success, they can become disheartened. However, when you lead by example and maintain self-discipline, you teach others the importance of patience, persistence, and focus. Success does not come overnight. It comes through continuous hard work and a willingness to stay on course even when the results are not immediately visible. By maintaining discipline in your own life, you set a standard that others can follow, empowering them to take consistent actions toward their own goals. Leading by example also means showing others the importance of treating others with respect and kindness. Leadership isn't just about achieving goals or making decisions. It's about how you treat the people you work with, the people you lead, and the people you interact with every day. When you lead with kindness, empathy, and respect, you create an environment where others feel valued, heard, and appreciated. This kind of leadership fosters collaboration, trust, and loyalty. People are more likely to give their best when they feel seen and respected, and when they believe their contributions matter. By treating others with respect and kindness, you not only build stronger relationships, but also inspire others to do the same. People tend to mirror the behavior they see in their leaders. When you approach others with compassion, they are more likely to adopt the same approach in their interactions, creating a culture of mutual respect and understanding. Leading by example in this way helps to create a positive, supportive environment where everyone feels empowered to contribute and grow. Another critical component of leading by example is fostering a mindset of growth and continuous learning. Leadership is not about knowing everything or having all the answers. It's about being open to learning, evolving, and improving. When you demonstrate a commitment to personal and professional growth, you inspire others to embrace the same mindset. People are more likely to step out of their comfort zones and take on new challenges when they see you doing the same. By continuously learning, whether through formal education, mentorship, or personal reflection, you show others that growth is a lifelong process. You also demonstrate that failure and setbacks are not signs of inadequacy, but opportunities to learn and grow. When others see you pursuing new knowledge and skills, they are encouraged to invest in their own growth and development, knowing that it's okay to make mistakes and that every failure is a stepping stone towards success. It's also essential to recognize that leadership is about empowering others to recognize and tap into their own potential. True leaders don't simply focus on their own achievements. They focus on lifting others up and helping them discover their strengths. This means encouraging others to take risks, to step outside their comfort zones, and to believe in their ability to achieve great things. Leading by example involves creating an environment where others feel supported, challenged, and inspired to be their best selves. Sometimes empowering others requires giving them space to shine and allowing them to take the lead in areas where they have potential. It's about recognizing that leadership is not a competition, it's a shared responsibility. By offering guidance, mentorship, and encouragement, you help others build their own confidence and belief in their capability. This kind of leadership doesn't create followers, it creates leaders who in turn inspire and empower those around them. One of the most important aspects of leading by example is being authentic. Authenticity is the foundation of trust, and trust is the foundation of effective leadership. When you are authentic, you show others that it's okay to be themselves, to embrace their strengths and weaknesses, and to pursue their goals without fear of judgment. Authentic leadership fosters an environment where people feel comfortable being vulnerable, asking questions, and seeking help when needed. When you are authentic, you create a safe space for others to explore their potential, knowing that they will be accepted and supported regardless of their flaws or imperfections. Leading by example through authenticity means being true to your values, your beliefs, and your purpose. It means being transparent, honest, and consistent in your actions and words. When others see that you are authentic, they are more likely to trust you, follow your lead, and be inspired to bring their true selves into the world. To lead by example is to be a beacon of possibility for those around you. It is about demonstrating through your actions that anyone can achieve greatness if they're willing to put in the work, stay true to their values, and believe in their own potential. It's about creating a ripple effect where your leadership encourages others to step into their own power and take ownership of their success. By embodying the qualities you wish to inspire in others, you not only elevate your own life, but you also uplift everyone around you, empowering them to reach for the highest version of themselves.